guys.
Well, I started to mention the We the People sign there in Birch Bay Village, and we've been reporting this story. We had, I believe it was just yesterday, we reported the resident, Patrick Ewing, no relation to the basketball player, I don't think, but complained that, the homeowners association there took his sign down, his We the People sign. And then today we had reaction from the homeowners association. They said it wasn't a political move, that it was initially they allowed these signs because a number of residents had them. And they thought, well, we'll temporarily allow them while we discuss the issue. So the board of directors there discussed the issue and then decided it was not a flag, it was a sign, and they've got rules strictly controlling what signs can be put up in that development, and they found that it was not in compliance with the rules and took the sign down.
Yeah, well, but what's interesting, somebody sent me, faxed here, the actual letter from the association, and then the rule book where they have the description of signs and what signs mean, exterior appearance, and then an actual description going into the detail of what signs were. However, on the letter that they sent out with the two copies, it states that a review of Washington state legislature governing documents states that a, quote, flag of the United States as defined in federal law, cites the section, that is made of fabric, cloth, or paper and is displayed from a staff or flagpole or in a window, is a flag of the United States, does not mean a flag or emblem made of lights, paint, roofing, siding, paving materials, blah, blah, blah. It goes into a list of things. So what I don't understand is, are they saying they don't want the sign because it's political? Because last time I checked, We the People was just about loving your country and upholding a constitution, and there's the American flag on there. So maybe they just need to go get it says it can be displayed on a staff, just a little higher rod or something, and stake it into the ground and be able to display it. Because you can put a political sign within 30 days of a campaign, but then it has to be removed. But the We the People signs are not. It's the American flag on there. So,
I think that what they're trying to specify is that because it is most people have seen them around the community, and it's the We the People with a depiction of the American flag. Now, I think what they're trying to get at is to specify that this is not considered a display of the flag, which someone putting a sign up could maybe try to argue that, wait, this isn't a sign, it is the American flag. Well, no, this is not the legally accepted version of the American flag. So it's not a display of the flag. It is a display of a sign. But
the other thing is, and this is where it, I think, gets into making people realize before you make a purchase of a home, because I know a few people that have done this and not really paid attention when there's covenants or a homeowners association. And unfortunately, when you sign your escrow papers and they give you covenants, or at least they're supposed to, you better get your money back, and you sign off that you acknowledge that there are covenants in the development. Well, now you've given up and relinquished some of your freedoms that we all want to keep our freedoms, but yet you're handing them over and they can dictate this. And many times, we had some friends that moved here from out of state, and they purchased a home. And about a week after purchasing their home, a neighbor came over and said, are you aware you have to take down your wind chimes? And they started laughing, and they said, what do you mean? And they said, no, there's a noise ordinance, and you cannot have any kind of noise making, the list goes on and on, everything under the sun, tin cans, spoons, whatever equates a noise maker hanging outside. Well, they eventually sold their house and moved away from that neighborhood here in Bellingham because of the covenants. But again,
they love their wind chimes.
But again, it's that you have to know that when you belong to something like that, you give it up. Now, the other interesting thing, I have a friend that sits on a board for a homeowners association right here in Fairhaven, is they have a number of condos, and they have the rules and the covenants. And it seems that every year there's somebody new that moves in, that acknowledges, purchase the property that they are moving in. And here's these, covenants. You can't have signs or pets, one of theirs, no cats, no dogs, no anything. And And it turns into going around and asking everybody to kind of get on their bandwagon, and then they hold a board meeting. And the problem is, as soon as you make one exception, then it goes on and it dominoes from there. So I actually think that this is, with this Birch Bay, I think it's more a display of the flag. And if you look at their description, it can even be on paper. So, I mean,
made of paper.
Made of paper. So maybe if you just, had that and put it on paper and then put it on a stake, it'd be fine. But ultimately, I think what their decision is also saying is that it's a political sign as well. And political signs have to be 30 days, no sooner than 30 days before an election.
Well, the only signs that are allowed under these covenants are political signs 30 days before an election, or a sign that a small, limited size sign displaying a property for sale or for rent, or if there apparently is work going on, I suppose, like hanging a construction permit in the window or that sort of thing. But I think it seems to be pretty clear. And say what you want, it is the flag and it's the phrase "we the people." But that has been, with these signs, they're pretty well. Anybody who's aware at all of what's been going on over the last year and a half or so are aware that has come to be associated with the Tea Party movement. This man calls it a Tea Party sign, and so it's not just a generic display of the flag. It is a display of a sign that is meant to convey a message and a connection to a group or an organization. And
that we love our country, and we will.
Sure.
We want to hold politicians accountable for upholding our Constitution and our Bill of Rights.
But the same rule would apply if a neighbor who supports President Obama put up "I support Obama" sign. It would be the same sort of a thing. And like the village spokesperson said on our reports this morning, they want to avoid yards littered with signs. That's the whole point of it. And covenants, whether you agree with them or not, they're aimed at maintaining
but political sign would be like, the difference is a sign up for Obama would say President Obama. Or candidate Obama, and that is endorsing a person. We the people isn't endorsing a candidate. So what is the problem?
That doesn't matter. It does matter. It's a political movement, and to constantly say that this is just something, it's like the Tea Party wants to be all slippery. We're not affiliated with anything. We don't endorse anything. We just love our country, and our signs don't mean anything other than "I love my country." And, that's not true. It is "we the people," Tea Party sign. Tea Party is a thing. It's not just this something that just is floating around in the ether or so. It's a thing. I think, to keep saying that, oh, wait, we're not really anything. But we are. We're this incredible political movement.
It is something, but
we're
not.
Nothing.
But they're not endorsing a candidate, and it actually has many people from across the political spectrum. We'll take your calls. It is a Friday, Joe and Patty. 676 KGMI is the number.